The interconnection of space and time. We live in 3 dimensions, with time functioning as a 4th dimension. This relationship is implicitly understood in daily interactions. To meet someone, coordinates must be provided for both space, location, and time. The intersection of specific space and time coordinates is called a world line. Intersection. For 2 entities to meet, their world lines must intersect. Variance. Occupying the same spatial location at different times means the world lines do not cross. For example, crossing a street 10 minutes before a truck passes through the same spot prevents a collision. Technological exception. Video conferencing removes the requirement for shared spatial coordinates, requiring only synchronization in the time dimension. Geometric progression and perception 1 dimension, 1D, align. The only measure is length. It possesses no width. 2 dimensions, 2D. Adding a second axis creates a plane or surface, for example, a square. 2D perception. Beings living within a 2D surface can only perceive the outer perimeter, edges of others. They cannot see inside one another. 2D interaction. Medical intervention in a 2D world requires cutting through the outer boundary to access the interior. Dimensional surgery and the view from above. A higher dimensional observer has total access to the interior of a lower dimensional entity without breaching its perimeter. 3D viewing 2D. A 3-dimensional. Being looking down on a flat 2D world can see all internal components, organs, simultaneously because the 2D plane has no boundary above or below it. A 3D entity could perform dimensional surgery, removing an object from inside a 2D being without ever cutting the outer skin. 4D viewing 3D. Analogously, a being from a 4th spatial dimension would have full visual and physical access to the insides of a 3-dimensional body. They could theoretically operate on a human without cutting the skin. Confinement and escape. Dimensions dictate the nature of imprisonment and escape. The 2D prison. A 2D creature is trapped by a square, lines drawn around them. To escape, they would need to move up into the 3rd dimension. The 3D prison. Humans are confined by 6 walls, a floor, ceiling, and 4 walls. The 4D escape. A higher dimensional creature can escape a 3D box by stepping out into the 4th dimension. If we view the 4th dimension as time, escaping a physical prison without breaking the walls involves moving to a point in time before the imprisonment occurred or after release. Mathematical properties and traffic. Physical properties and problems change depending on the available dimensions. Knots. Knots as we know them exist in 3 dimensions. In a 4th spatial dimension, one could simply pull the ends of a 3D knot, and it would unravel without being untied, similar to lifting a looped string off a 2D table. Traffic flows. Traffic jams occur in 1D single lanes and 2D multiple lanes on a flat plane. The 3rd dimension solution. Flying cars solve traffic by utilizing the 3rd dimension, height. Current applications. Subways and highway overpasses are functional examples of using the 3rd dimension to bypass 2D congestion.